This is from 3 days ago. Here's the headline from the BBC. Pro-Russian UK journalist put on sanctions list. Yeah. So this guy over here, Graham Phillips, he is a UK citizen. He's a British citizen. And the British government just sanctioned him. What? Yeah. That's real. So the article says a British journalist who has worked for Russian media has been officially sanctioned by the UK government. Graham Phillips, who's 43 and from Nottingham, has been criticized for pro-Putin coverage of the war in Ukraine. He was accused of war crimes after videoing captured Brighton Aidan Aslan and describing him as a quote-unquote mercenary rather than a prisoner of war. I find the wording here very interesting because they don't put pro-Putin coverage in quotation marks, but they put his word, they put mercenary in quotation marks. Anyway, officials said Mr. Phillips' assets had been frozen. That means they took his money away, right? When they say, we're going to freeze your assets, we're going to take your car, we're going to take your bank account, we're going to take your house, we're going to take every single fucking thing you own. Mr. Phillips' assets have been frozen as his media content helped, quote-unquote, destabilize Ukraine. Oh my God. Again, a superhero journalist. Where do they get these guys from? How is it that Graham Phillips and Alina Lib are so powerful they can destabilize entire countries? Oh my God. Oh my God. There you go, Marvel. That's your next script for your superhero movie, right? These amazing pro-Putin journalists who can destabilize countries just by posting crap. Unbelievable. Wow. So they're saying that he was Mr. Phillips, while working for Russia Today, was detained in 2014. So back in 2014, but then released by the Ukrainian authorities. The defense ministry said he had been, quote, filming facilities which are forbidden from being filmed. What does that mean? He's a spy? So they say he was seized by Russian forces during the battle for Mariupol in April. Right? He appeared handcuffed in a video posted on Mr. Phillips' YouTube channel. They're saying that this journalist, Graham Phillips, is a war criminal because he filmed a prisoner of war. Now let me break this down because I talked about this on the channel before. Yes, that is a war crime. Under the Geneva Convention, you cannot film prisoners of war. Again, I don't know anything about this Mr. Aslan, which he filmed while he was seized by Russian forces. Was the guy actually in a Ukrainian unit? Because if you go and join like the Foreign Legion, for example, or an international brigade under the umbrella of the Ukrainian the Ukrainian armed forces, then yeah, I suppose that would be a war crime. The thing is, even if he did commit a war crime, okay, fair enough. You deal with that. Again, my question is, what about all the other people who committed war crimes? Let me tell you something. Do you know how many British soldiers have been convicted of war crimes? One. He beat an Iraqi man to death, Baha Musa. So they arrested him, and it's an entire group of soldiers, by the way, but only one of them took the rap, right? They beat him to death, and this guy, Donald Payne, he got 1 year in prison. He was released after 1 year for beating an Iraqi man to death. That's the only guy who's ever been convicted of war crimes. Right? And you think that's... And we know about the British SAS in Afghanistan, what they were doing also with the Australian SAS, executing Afghan boys. Yeah, that's okay. Whatever, man. You can commit as many war crimes as you like. But this journalist over here, he's dangerous stuff. He's destabilizing Ukraine. Man, shut the fuck up. Honestly, be quiet. You don't have to agree with anything he says. But you're going to come here and tell me that you're going to sanction him? You're sanctioning one of your own citizens. If he committed a war crime, why don't you try him then? Why are you seizing his money? What is going on here? You know that there's a double standard, right? You know that there's a double standard. And the guy's a journalist also. When you commit a war crime, usually you're in uniform. I really don't know if the Geneva Convention applies to journalists. I really don't. I'm being serious. That's a good question. It's always rules for thee, but not for me. So let me be very clear. I don't know who Graham Phillips is. This guy that they're saying is a pro-Russia journalist. I don't know what he's done, if it's really a war crime. But if you are going to say that he should be tried for war crimes, then you need to try all the other guys, the top brass that invaded Iraq and Afghanistan for war crimes. Right? Fair is fair. And freeze their assets as well. But of course, that's never going to happen. You will never see Tony Blair and so on tried for war crimes because, ironically, the crime of aggression when you invade another country, the UK refused to ratify that, right, under the International Criminal Court. So basically, in England, if you are someone who has invaded another country, it's not a crime. And that's how Tony Blair got off, for invading Iraq. The High Court just threw the case out. Very convenient. Because he's in the club. He's in the club, right? He was a prime minister. He played ball with the Americans. He's in the club, right? He had a bromance with George Bush. Nothing. He's untouchable. But Mr. Phillips over here, he's dangerous. God. They're funny, really. They're funny.